Stop. Stop looking at the release calendar. If you think you are absolutely 100% playing GTA 6 in November 2026, you need to hit the brakes right now. We just got intel from one of the industry's top insiders, and the reality check is brutal. We're not talking about a simple polish delay. We're talking about a game that, according to the latest leak, might not even be fully built yet. And stay with me until the end, because I'm going to explain why, even if it does come out in 2026, GTA 6 is at serious risk of missing Game of the Year and falling into what we're calling the Samey Trap. But let's back up for a second. Context is everything. We're breaking down the season premiere of Button Mash, The Ringer's big gaming show. This was recorded literally in the first week of January 2026. It's fresh. On the panel, you had Ben Lindbergh and Matt James, but the heavy hitter in the room, the guy you really need to pay attention to, was Jason Schreier. If you don't know him, Schreier is basically the elite agent of games journalism. He wrote Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. He breaks the stories publishers try to hide. So when he sits down to deconstruct the biggest game on the planet, he's not there to build hype, he's there to pour cold water on the marketing. And Schreier dropped a specific phrase that should make every gamer nervous: content complete. Or more accurately, the lack of it. The analysis is that the project is probably not content complete yet. Translated for anyone who's not a dev, not content complete means they are still building the game. They're probably still finalizing missions, tuning core systems, maybe even building parts of the map. In AAA development, you have to finish making the stuff before you can fix the bugs in the stuff. If they're still making stuff right now at the start of 2026, aiming at a November launch is extremely optimistic. Any major technical friction, any big bug, any systems issue, and that timeline slides straight into 2027. Quick pause. I want to hear from you. If it were your choice, would you rather play slightly buggy GTA 6 this November 2026 or wait for a more polished game in 2027? Comment 2026 or 2027 down below. I really want to see if this community prefers speed or perfection. Back to the analysis. Schreier backed this up with history, the famous Rockstar delay meta. Look at Red Dead Redemption 2, announced for fall 2017, pushed to spring 2018, didn't actually release until October 2018. This is where it gets interesting. Take-Two's fiscal year ends in March. That gives them a very convenient buffer. They can delay GTA 6 from November 2026 all the way to February or March 2027, and for shareholders, it's technically still the same fiscal year. The annual report still looks great. Strauss-Zelnick, the CEO, has to maintain this narrative of total confidence so the stock doesn't instantly drop 10% every time a delay rumor hits. But confidence doesn't code games. Developers do. Now, about the market itself. The panel talked about what they called the blast zone. Other studios are basically playing a game of chicken. If you're making a massive title like Marvel's Wolverine, you do not want to launch in November 2026. You're going to get obliterated. So what we'll probably see is a flood of big releases in September and October, all trying to escape the GTA blast radius. But here's the point I promised at the start, the real trap. Ben Lindbergh called it the Samey Trap. The public is expecting an impossible generational leap, but what if it's just GTA 5 with a facelift? Better textures, shinier cars, but fundamentally the same gameplay loop. If the game falls into what you could call vaporware syndrome, where our imagination is better than the final product, it might actually struggle to become the unanimous game of the year, especially if it launches on November 19th and misses the cutoff date for the Game Awards. Just think about that. The biggest game of the decade, and it technically doesn't exist for award season until the following year.
Grand Theft Auto 6.
That's the briefing. That's what the insiders are saying behind closed doors. Get ready for 2026, but don't be surprised if you're forced to touch grass until 2027. Tell me what you think. Is a delay inevitable, or do you still trust the November window? And if you want to stay ahead of the backlog with honest reviews, make sure you are subscribed. Now look, whether GTA gets delayed or not, if you want to know which horror games are coming out without delays and are promising to change everything we know about reality in horror gaming, click right here. I'm telling you, this is the future of the genre.